For part B, they're wanting you to use the midpoint formula, which the midpoint would be, the midpoint formula is something you need to remember. It's x1 plus x2 divided by, divided by 2, and y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So you're basically coming up with a new ordered pair. So we need to find the ordered pair, that's the midpoint, between S and Q and P and R. So I'm going to write those in, we'll go with green this time. So I can label this as x1, y1, and let's label this one as x2, y2, and just take those and plug them in. So you're going to have 0 plus 2a plus 2b divided by 2. That's your x value, and your y value would be 0 plus 2c divided by 2. So that's one ordered pair to find your midpoint, because we're basically finding the coordinates of t. That's what we're doing. So from S to Q, this is your midpoint, so I'll say this one's from S to Q. Now from P to R, we're going to do the same thing. Let's do that one in a different color. What color y'all want? Let's go with blue. So this is your x1, your y1. This is your x2, y2. By the way, you don't have to redraw the picture. I just redrew the picture because I didn't want to have to scroll all the way back up to the picture that they provided for you. So that's why I redrew it. I do not expect you to redraw it at all for the LEAP test. You would, we'll talk about your explanation in just a second, but let's just talk about the calculations right now. So PR would be your x1, which is 2b, plus 2a divided by 2. That's your x value, and your y value would be 2c plus 0 divided by 2. Now, what do you notice about both of these ordered pairs? If you simplify it out, rearrange some stuff, they're literally saying the exact same thing. So whenever you have a midpoint of two different lines and the midpoints are the exact same coordinates, that tells you that your midpoints are of those lines are intersecting, or more than likely your shape that you have is a parallelogram. So you would see this whenever you have a square, a rectangle, shapes like that. So for example, a square, if we drew two lines like this, where they intersect is the midpoint. So the justification they're talking about is they want you to explain that you use the midpoint formula to find the midpoint of line SQ and the midpoint of line PR, and that those midpoints are equal to one another. That's literally what they're wanting you to do.